Good morning. It's 9 o'clock on August 28th, 2023 on a Monday. Oh, I guess I didn't do the Monday trailer this morning. I'm going to go to, just accidentally closed something. What did I do? Doug, what did you do? I'm going to go to channel comments. Oh, I guess I'm supposed to get a confirmation of audio. Internal audio is muted, so I will hear this. You won't. Yeah, there it is. Very quiet. Mute that, unmute that, and go look at comments. Pineapple Road. Try that again. Didn't zoom in the first time I did that. In response to 279, that was yesterday. Not yesterday, but Friday. I've known my computer to sign in to a user called guest before. When that happened, it displayed a message saying there was a problem with signing into my account and that I've been signed into a temporary account. Yes, I have seen that. I have seen that on clients' computers and I think on my computers, and typically happens, in my experience, it has been when the computer did not shut down properly or something else. There was some other problem with the usual user's account, but I've also seen it happen when there was nothing apparently unusual. I signed out and in again, and it signed in normally to the second time. Yes, I've seen that too. Windows 10 and 11 do still have a guest user. Yes, it does, just as we were showing on Friday, I think it was. The administrator user account that is normally disabled, both of them are, and locked out. Same thing with the default administrator account. And there are usually a few system accounts as well. Yeah, oftentimes the system accounts are utilized by driver software or other software running deeper in the system that we don't really interact with as end users. There is a configuration page you can bring up which shows all the accounts on the system, including system accounts and the built-in administrator and guest accounts. I think we went into that Friday by virtue of somebody giving me the MSC command for it, whatever that was. I know about this as I have to go into it in order to set my account's password to not automatically expire, as the method of bypassing the Microsoft account requirement that I use has a side effect of enabling password expiration. To access it, right-click on the Start button and click Computer Management. A window should open up, and left-click Local User Accounts and double-click on users, and you should be presented with a list of users. Now, I think I tested this on Windows 11 when I first saw this comment, and it works with Windows 11. I was very happy to see that. So computer management, and then on the left side, local users and groups. And yes, I've been into this many times, and typically when I go into that, I do it with right-clicking on the computer icon on the desktop for Windows 10 and choosing computer management. I don't think that option is there for Windows 11, I mean. So I'm glad to have been reminded or shown that it's here on the Windows 11 Start menu. And I think I have seen it there before, and I just in one ear and out the other. Such a Doug. Dr. Global Solution says, thank you so very. Now, this isn't from Friday's video. Says, thank you so very much. You're the only one on the internet that simply said, take the computer offline for this to work. Every other so-called solution never bothered to say that. I wish they all would just get to the point. Thanks again. I don't recollect what he's referring to from Friday's video. I know that, for instance, when we were talking about, let's see, what was it? Windows. There was one of the techniques for doing a local user account involved having the computer offline. Oh, no, I know what I'm thinking of. Yeah, not the offline for the local account. The video that I did that you had to take the computer offline was when you're upgrading from Windows 10 Home to Windows 10 Pro. You have to use a special license key and have the computer offline when you do that, and some hoops to jump through. But that was on a different video, not this one. So I don't know what DRP Global Solutions was referring to in that case. I'm just going to give him a thumbs up and a heart. I'm not going to send him a reply to this point in the video because I'm not really responding to a question there. Tony did hear me. Now, this was on a test video. Last week I was doing some test videos because I was having some troubles getting my audio working. So I was doing some live stream, unlisted live stream. So apparently this live stream, I did it here, this one here, I did it as a public video. I went back and changed that to unlisted. So that's how Tony got into that one. The weekend photo on this one about the dead HP all-in-one that won't turn on said, wow, did you actually replace the CMOS battery with a new one, my good sir? I'm kind of deducing there that maybe it wasn't clear during that video that I did replace it with a new one, but I think what I later determined, I don't think I told it in that video, yes, I replaced it with a new unopened package CMOS battery, but what I found later is that those batteries that I had not expired, but they were not good. That might be what happened there. Again, I'm going to do a thumbs up and a heart. I'm not going to send him a reply because I'm not actually giving him a significant answer or response. Okay, then let's go. I got some emails lined up to respond to, but I'm going to go ahead and say hello to you all in chat. Scroll up to the top. Morning to all the Dougs. I can't quite get up to the top there. Let's try switching to live. There we go. Speedy C, hello. Lawn Dog, hello. Let's see. He's saying hello to Ken Stout. He is here. I stumbled on something morning. I bet you're fully aware of a service called Pixababy where you can get free content to use. Lots of places to get free content. Oh, Ken's been using that for years. I hate it when I make suggestions and I'm just behind the times. On Dog William Dawson, a lot of pictures of Idaho and Israel. I don't think it's temporary account, but rather a temporary user profile. Actually, let's go take another look at that. Computer management, local users and groups, users. Well, with a guest account. Yeah, not a temporary account, but a guest account. What was he referring here about a temporary? I don't think it's a temporary account, but rather a temporary user profile. Yeah, that experience when you restart the computer and it says there's a problem with your profile. Yeah, I think it's logging into a temporary account, not that guest account. I don't think it actually uses the guest account. I think it uses a temporary account based upon the default user account for your computer. I think that's what it does. I think it creates a new temporary account based off of this default account. Can't quote me on that. Well, I can, but you can't. John Williams, hello. Ken, Mike. That's why, Doug, my handy dandy voltmeter is always within a short reach from me. Yeah, I've got one, and I've learned my lesson. I've come up with, particularly buying cheap batteries off of Amazon. They'll come in instead of like a 10-year expiration date, they might have a 2 or 3 year expiration date, and it becomes apparent that that's why they're being sold inexpensively, because they don't have long for their expiration date, but also they might not have been temperature controlled the way they're supposed to be, or whatever else it might be, because even then I found that they lose their power too early. You never know what the actual voltage is on a battery. I even keep batteries in the refrigerator. That helps on your electrical bill. If you keep batteries in the refrigerator, it won't use as much as your house's electrical power. Even if you're on solar power, that last 30 seconds was total bogus lie. Don't believe it. 2032 is, that's the CMOS battery number. I was going to say that was the year of the battery's expiration. How did you learn how to ski down a mountain like the intro video? I think that must have been, yeah, that was the waterfall where I'm rolling down the waterfall. Nick Poverman, I bought a brand new limousine. I couldn't afford a driver, all that money and nothing to show for it. Dick, oh, and he just retracted that. What? Why? Why did you retract that? That message was in there before I started the show. Oh, I guess I missed it up here. I said, did I? I didn't read it? Oh, slap me on the hand. Or I don't know if that showed up when I first showed up here. I don't know. But good, funny. Daniel Emberley. So, what are some good sources for those batteries? The way I do it is when I'll go to Amazon and buy the batteries, but I'll buy the name brand and look at the seller. If it's a third party seller, I won't buy it. I want to buy it from like it's being sold from Eveready or Duracell or Amazon. That would be okay. But if it's a third party seller, that's what I stay away from. And then go read the comments, go read the reviews from other people. If they are selling batteries that have a short expiration date, it'll show up there in the reviews. So that's the way I do that. Nick Poverman fixed. Oh, he fixed it. I guess there was something wrong with it. After I bought my brand new limousine, I couldn't afford a driver. All that money, nothing to show for it. I don't know what was wrong with it the first time. So now I'm going to go to the emails that I have lined up to respond to. Get ready, Ken Stout, because there's some stuff here from you. Well, they're not emails from you, but they're emails from Doug to Doug about Ken Stout. The Dougs are talking about Ken Stout and some other things here. So we're starting with chat room comments. Here's one from Seldom Ball. Have you considered updating the firmware of the GPU board itself? No, actually, that wasn't on my mind because I have updated the drivers for it. But he's pointing out the firmware of the GPU board. That's not going to happen by clicking to update the driver. That would be you have to go to the motherboards or the graphics board site and look for a firmware update. Firmware updates oftentimes don't happen automatically. So there might be something out there for that. So thank you for pointing that out. That is on my list of things to do. I'm probably not going to get it to today. Zavim and Orb regarding Zoom problems. To my knowledge, the Big Beast build with a system transferred from another computer. Try to test the system with a new installation of the system on another disk. Okay, 2 points about that. First of all, Big Beast build was not transferred from another system. It was not an image restore from another system. I started out with that and I tried to do that, but then I wound up rebuilding the Big Beast build from scratch. So what's currently on Big Beast build is not inherited from another computer. So that's point one. Now, there was a time when I was trying to do that, so totally valid that you asked that. Tried to test the system with new installation. I did do that, and I gave the results during a Windows Daily. You probably missed that one. That's okay. You're not obligated to watch all the shows. But I did verify that I had a valid image backup, and then I did a fresh install Windows 11 on Big Beast build, and it did not have the zoom problem with the image. Now I did do that. Yeah, that was Windows 11. Yeah, in fact, I made a video. I set up XSplit to record the Zoom session, and I left. I left the house, left the building. Doug has left the building for several hours. Came back, the video was still running. Zoom was fine. In order to prove that it was still live, I had it recording the task manager so we could see numbers going. And then I turned on, that whole time was with a virtual background for hours. So yeah, with a fresh install, it's fine. I am reluctant to go do a full rebuild of Big Beast build because there is a lot of software. There's a lot of stuff I have on this computer that you guys aren't consciously aware of. So it would take a long time to rebuild it. And the possibility exists, once I get it all rebuilt, I might have the same problem and it might not show right away. So then what do I install each piece and then wait for days or weeks to be sure I got thorough testing? Before I go down that road, I want to talk to Zoom tech support because since I have a consistent, stable symptom with Zoom, maybe they know about it, particularly since Alice is having the same problem. That tells me that it's not unique to me. So that's my plan currently. And it's not urgent. I can live with the symptoms that I have. Yes, that is true. The boot went immediately into the administrator's account. I've never thought that my replacement was a refurbished one. Thanks. So that was Steve Dodd. As we've talked about that on a couple of the Windows Daily, I think it is, where he upgraded a computer from a spinning drive to an NVMe drive, restored the image. Oh no, he got a replacement computer. The computer was bad. The manufacturer replaced it, put his drive into the replacement computer. Forget the part about upgrading, that was somebody else. And then it booted directly into administrator account on his Windows installation. And so we speculated it might have something to do with that replacement computer was probably a refurbished computer, might have had different CMOS settings. He already got that problem resolved, so we're not going to go discussing that any further. He was just giving us a follow-up. Now then, the next one here, by the way, nobody has a, there's no show for me to redirect to. If Ken Stout has a show, let me know in chat. Now I have some links pinged here from Ken's shows, and they were supposed to take me right to the point that I want to talk about, but when I clicked on them this morning, they don't take me to the right point. So I'm going to try to find my way through these. There are things that he was coming up with.
And I've got a few other things open, but this is the one I want, so I want that to be over here. Oh, doggone it, now this is not.
No, I don't want to do that one because here he's futzing around with how to make the screen, the two
this one
panels
back to
half
here.
Screen.
This is Top Chat.
Yeah, here he was talking about Top Chat. And the first thing I want to point out here is I think, Ken, you're mistaken here. You switch from Top Chat to Live Chat, and then you point out this down here. This Live Chat replay down here, that's different words.
See, it's at a total different place. Now, if I could do what Doug has showed us.
Oh, no, I don't want to see you do that again. He switches, I'm trying to get back to where he switches that up. Yeah, he switches this up here to live chat, and he looks down here, live chat replay. That says live chat replay, but down here, it says something different. I got to get this right. Okay, see up here it says live chat replay. Down here it says live chat replay. That's different. Okay, live chat replay. This one's different. Live chat replay. Wait a minute, Doug. Those are the same words. Well, this is a viewer setting. This down here is a content producer setting. So it's different. This up here controls how the viewer is going to watch the show. This down here controls how the content creator created the show. So you can, when he changes to Top Chat, this still says live chat replay down here. So to show where that happens, I'm going to go into the Creator Studio over here and click on Edit, go to Customization, this live chat replay. And this checkbox just means when somebody re-watches the video later, are they going to be able to see a replay of the chat room? Okay, so this is something that the content creator does, whereas over here on watching a stream, this is what the viewer, the choice the viewer makes. Same three words. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Brilliant idea there. Not. I'm just going to go click to these other panels I opened to try to get to this other one. Here's another one that I wanted to show for Ken Stout. Ken Stout has been using this technique of drawing, masking things by putting these kind of dots around it. That's not what this content creator was doing at this point. But I've long time wondered, there's got to be a way in DaVinci Resolve to do the similar technique to what I do with XSplit. And here what this person is using is this feature right here, I think it is. And they just click one spot inside. In this case, they click one spot inside the face, and that masks the entire face. This is the icon that they use. And it was called, let's see, Roto Brush Magic Mask. The tool is called Magic Mask. So you put one dot inside the face and it selects the whole face. And you can select the whole person, and it's a whole lot easier than the type of masking that I saw Ken doing on one of his shows. So Ken, I wanted to point that out to you. And here I'm going to put a link for that video into the chat room. So at Ken Stout Live and what do I call it? Magic Mask. Magic, get the caps lock right. Magic Mask. So I don't know if he already knows that, but I've seen him doing masking techniques other ways that are real nuisance. Try that out, Ken. Now let's see. This one was
This
we looked at.
I'll go back to here. This is Top Chat.
Yeah, that's still that. So let's go to another one. That was the second one. The third one. Oh yeah, this is more Ken Stout stuff. And again, I don't think this is going to go to the right place on the video, but I think I can find it.
I don't know how that works. So, oh, you just...
I'm going to mute that. Okay, yeah, here he's doing layering. And I want to point out something for layering, Ken, and I'm doing this because I don't have other topics to talk about. So here, when you put on this image here and you see that, well, Jen's hidden. Well, there's a layering button up here. This one that looks like layers right there, click on that and you'll be able to control where they are. You can bring another layer up above a previous layer and so on. So I think you'll find that will help with that piece. And then let's go to, that was layers icon. Oh, but I clicked on diamond premium. So that's what I wanted to get here to with this link. So I have to go back for this, I think, to get to this place to explain another piece. Here it is. Ken, you were looking at this, and when you click on some of these, it takes you into this panel where you have to pay premium. It took me a while to figure this out, Ken Stout. You're not alone. Similar to this, I think HeyGen hired staff from YouTube because they use these stupid ways of identifying things. And the word premium in HeyGen does not mean you have to pay for it. So I'm going to go back a little bit here and show this. Here's the secret. This diamond right here, this gold diamond, that's what tells you that this is one that you have to pay for. These others that don't have the diamond, you don't have to pay for. Because I thought I was limited to like, whoops, sorry microphone. I thought I was limited to like 2 of the characters in here, and that's not the case. It's the ones that have this gold diamond. Notice none of these others have the gold diamond. There's a couple down here at the bottom with that gold diamond. So that's how you can tell which ones are you're going to have to pay for if you want to use them. All right. Now these are all things that I just got from watching one of Ken's videos. Here's the link again about Magic Mask. So I talked about premium and layers icon and Magic Mask. Now let's go to the next link. I think that this is the one I just talked about. This one for XSplit. I mentioned on Friday or Saturday, I don't know what it was, that I'm having another symptom after upgrading to Windows 11 that I think is probably associated with whatever the root cause is for the Zoom virtual background problem. Here I'm showing a photo of myself, and the reason why I'm in the photo is to show you that this XSplit live camera feed is locked up. And this is what I told you is that I've been having to end task on XSplit. I wasn't able to exit XSplit. Well, after Saturday's show, I realized more specifically that I've seen this image before, is that XSplit freezes where I'm taking this headset off. And what I do is I turn the headset off and then I take it off of my head. So I was wondering, how does it always freeze when I'm lifting this off of my head? Well, it's because I just turned it off. When I turn this headset on before the show, I have XSplit open, I turn the headset on, it messes up the camera exposure. Then I have to go reload the presentation to fix that. That's something I've been having for months. But now that I'm on Windows 11, today, before the show, when I turned this headset on, it locked up XSplit. I had to end task on XSplit and relaunch it with the headset already turned on. Then I was okay. That's why I was late starting the show this morning. Ba-doom, ba. Now then, the next, let me use this previous button. Here is another photo. Now you're seeing that same XSplit screen where I was taking the headset off, and I'm just showing here that I had to end task. The computer was not locked up. It's not like the Zoom virtual background thing where it locks up the entire computer. So this seems to be another stable symptom that I have that, again, seems to be graphics related. So yes, I want to go check on a firmware update for the graphics card. Next, I'll talk to Zoom, but talking to Zoom, tech support, I'm not going to do that until a day when I am ready to just embrace the suck. Because I do not expect that to be a fun experience. Now, sometimes it is. Sometimes when I suck it up and go embrace the suck and talk to somebody's tech support, sometimes they're really good and they get to it quickly. They know the problem, they recognize the problem. That could be the case. Sometimes I have to get to a elevated, escalated to a higher tier, and sometimes they're difficult to get them to do that. They want to take me through all their scripts. And I've learned, don't fight it. Don't say, hey, I'm a technician with more than 3.5 seconds of experience, as Ken likes to say. Can you please just give me an escalated higher? They don't like escalated tech. They don't like to do that. So you get out of that. Client calling. I'll take that later. What's the next previous one? From Sin, aka Drunken Troll. This is a sample I see all the time hovering over fake ID. Let's see, what was that? Scam alert, he calls this. This is a sample I see all the time hovering over fake ID and has an attachment I would never touch. I always report it as a phishing attack. Thanks, Wise Doug. And he's got a photo down here. Now, I don't quite recognize whether this is an email or a text message. I've seen plenty of times cases where there's this dot, but it doesn't match any of my this is an email address it's coming from, so I think it's probably an email. Claims to be supported at Amazon.com, but when he hovers over it, he sees the detailed email. Now, this is not to be confused with the reply to address that you won't see until you look at the original text. This is where it's from, and this is not the reply to address. I'm 95% sure. And then the message there, reminder, your account will be temporarily on hold Saturday, August 26th. And it gives a case ID that looks really weird. That looks like an attachment paperclip. So I'm sure this was an email rather than a text message. Let's see, go back here. Did he call it? One attached, scanned by Gmail. So yeah, that was a Gmail. Probably from the Gmail app. That's why I recognize it. That's probably how it looks on my Gmail app on my phone, I think. So that's the first of all of those. I'll go back to chat and see where I was. I don't have a highlighted line where I was. Voltmeter, mountain, limousine. Would have been about here. Chris, I just had a tooth pulled or yanked out because it was broke. I am not in pain yet. Oh, he must have had a local anesthetic. Really? He pulled the tooth without any pain medicine? No, I think he had a local anesthetic and that hasn't worn off yet. Long Dog, I also have a vintage battery checker. It's in use all the time. It stopped from the 70s and was used by Save-On drugstores, and my dad was the manager. They got rid of old technology, which I thought was silly for that time of our era. This battery tester still is more useful than most of the junk I bought over the years to test the battery anyways. He wouldn't let me bring home a tube tester machine they had in the store for testing tubes, not a battery tester that was made with vacuum tubes, but that would be a machine for testing tubes. That's a classic machine. Lawn Dog shows us what that looks like, I'm imagining. Battery tester. Oh, this is the one that the vintage battery tester he's referring to. $11 if you want to buy an old battery tester. Speaking on Ken's behalf, he does not have a show. That's from Ken Stout. Speaking on Ken's behalf. I hope he had permission to speak on Ken's behalf. Lawn Dog, classic battery checker. I believe me, I do use it all the time. I've been through so many voltmeters, they seem to flake out. Oftentimes, words have two meanings. I think those words are very famous Led Zeppelin song. Link is 397 characters, the link that Tim was trying to put in, I guess. I was getting my clothes from a dryer. Battery tester I have from eBay. This is showing uBlock origin has blocked. I'll say proceed. Yes, I have this one. I like this one a lot. I very much like that battery tester. That's the one I have. It might have a different brand name on it, but it looks identical. Hey, I have one of those battery checkers and personally think it's a piece of inadequate equipment. It works if you get the battery in there right. Mine works really well. Yes, I use it. Thanks. I will check out the link. I use it. I will check out the link. Now, I'm not sure which of the things that I talked about he's saying that he uses. I don't use it anymore. It just sits in the box about 10 feet from me. I mean, he could have been talking about a battery tester, all I know. On Dr. Chris, I think I got 3 of those for like $10, mostly likely Amazon. I sent one to my parents, and well, they still struggle with secking batteries. Oh boy. Lawn Dog. I had to send it to them because one day they called me and told me the mouse wasn't working. I asked them to check the battery. On man, that turned out to be an event. Boy, Doug, now we're getting into driver issues for like turning off the headset. Something about doing that causes an interrupt and something can deal with. Now, what I'm going to do today, when I finish the session, I'm not going to turn this off. I will exit XSplit first, then turn this off. And then on a regular basis, I will try to remember, turn this on first, then launch XSplit, and try to keep that pattern going until I get things fixed right. Nick Poverman, did you look to see if your headset is a Zoom compatible headset? They do have a list of ones that are considered 100% compatible. Well, I'm not having a headset problem with Zoom. The headset problem was with XSplit, not with Zoom. With Zoom, the problem I have is the virtual background. Zoom doesn't have any problem with this headset. Lawn Dog, it would take quite a bit of software investigation at the software level to even figure that out problem would need an engineer to monitor the electronics on the motherboard. And believe me, I've seen this kind of work being done in the past when I was working for Bird Corp, where we made life support equipment. It only was used for making you breathe. Somebody needs to make me breathe. How do you email yourself? Well, Ken, this is a complicated thing, so I'm going to go demonstrate it. Here, I click on Compose, and then in the 2-line right here, I type in my name, then put in a subject, and put in the content of the email. I know that's not obvious to Ken, so there's a demonstration, Ken, of how I email myself. You have to put your own email address on the 2-line. Thank you, Ken, for the entertaining content. How do you email yourself? Lawn Dog. And guess what? There were some pickups happening early in one of our, perhaps he'll explain why it was different for him. I don't know. And guess what? There were some pickups happening early in one of our products that I discovered, and what an engineer task it was to figure out what was going on. Some pickups happening? Was it our software or hardware? I don't know. I've never seen sophisticated equipment that the company rented to trace this problem down, probably about $80,000 worth of highly specialized equipment. Never seen such sophisticated equipment. So did they pay $80,000 to rent it? Or they rented equipment that cost $80,000. That's why they rented it. Either way, I would highly recommend buying that battery checker. It does a lot more than just regular voltages. It also has the ability to put a load on the battery to Doug. It's going to put a load on the battery to Doug. A load on the battery from the battery to Doug. I like your approach for figuring out the interaction with the audio on the headset. Some kind of interaction going on. I was coming back here because I wanted to make a point. And I totally forgot what it was. Either way, battery checker. Yeah, it does other things like putting a. Yeah, I have voltage meters that do lots of other things. I never need anything else. Maybe once in a while to check voltage at an electrical outlet. I have also used them to check electrical voltage on a USB, but amperage, never used a voltage meter for amperage. That's not totally true, but it's so long ago and so rare. Ran Israel, he said while not able to keep a straight face. Really? When I was given that email tutorial, was I not able to keep a straight face? Is that what you're talking about, Ran? Josh says, LOL, funny. They rented equipment because spending $80,000 on some highly specialized equipment doesn't make good sense. So it was $80,000 worth of equipment, which is exactly what he said. I'm sure there are some scenarios where you pay an $80,000 to rent a piece of equipment that costs millions. Chit chat between those two. Thumbs up for great live stream. Okay, all right. I think I'm done. I'm out of here. Oh, I should have ended long ago because I have someplace I have to be at 10 o'clock. I was supposed to end on time today. Goodbye. Here's the email address.